Hi guys, welcome back to the Holy Shiftball podcast where we raise your frequency one cosmic giggle at a time. I'm Bethany, your energetic bestie, alongside my fabulous cosmic best friend Sharon. Hey Sharon, how are you today?
Good morning, Bethany. I am great. And we've had a lot of cosmic giggles this morning already, so we're ready for more.
No doubt, no doubt. I am so looking forward to hearing what was your Holy Shiftball moment
Oh,
this week.
wow. My holy shift ball moment. Okay. So I watched a video the other day about the upcoming fire horse year and how it relates to those of us who were born in a fire horse year. And lo and behold, a couple of things, I've already experienced a couple of those things, and we aren't even in the fire horse year yet. So that made me realize that the power of suggestion is so strong. It's crazy. So once a perceived, because I was watching videos from people who are supposed to be authority figures in this area. So when a perceived authority figure says something about it, that moment that you turn that thought into a belief, your subconscious becomes your personal genie. And it just starts showing you all these events. It starts bringing all these events to you because it thinks that you want them in your life. And so you watch one video about chaos and holy shit, your life is full of it. So one little thing you can do today to prove that to yourself is have a belief about, oh, I want to see 10 blue cars, or I want to see 5 yellow cars, or I want to whatever. If you're on a beach, you can say, I want to see, 30 blue bikinis, whatever floats your boat. And you will be amazed at how much that your subconscious mind shows you over and over whatever it is that you put that thought in your head. So if you want to know what you're really thinking in life and what your belief system is that's rooted in your subconscious, just look at your life and how you're living it. And that is the power of suggestion. Because when you believe something that an authority figure tells you and it becomes a belief in your subconscious, that's what your life is going to be. It's incredible. So be very
Wow.
careful about the videos you watch, what kind of movies you watch, what kind of shows you watch, because that seeps into your real life. So you have to be very conscious of it because your
Wow.
brain, your subconscious is taking notes. It really, truly is. But anyways, yeah. So that was my realization this week. And what about yours, Bethany? I can hardly wait to hear about yours.
Well,
Girl.
unless you are living under a rock, I live in Memphis and we are absolutely, being told that there is a huge snowstorm coming into the region. So I was tasked with the job of taking both my elderly parents to the grocery store yesterday. Now, girl,
Yeah.
when I tell you everybody in my community was at this grocery store. The parking lot was absolutely filled, and it was literally like trying to play bumper cars trying to get to the produce aisle. I mean, just, locked, traffic jam, everybody is frustrated, aggravated. It was just so interesting, and you know, it, it was one of those moments where I had to take a step back and be like, because as a person like myself, I am a homebody. I'm very selective in what
I
I
hear you,
do and
sister.
where I go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the holy shift ball moment for me is, being in different states of awareness about what when I'm in these grocery store, how does my body feel? When I'm shifting and sliding next to all of these unknown people, how does that show up in my body? And so I am looking forward to what is fixing to happen for my city. And yeah, so that was my holy shift ball moment this week is just being conscious and aware when I'm in these crowded areas and how does it show up for me. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. I'm with you. I want to protect my energy. I don't want to be around all that
Yeah.
negativity. I don't watch
Yeah.
the news. I don't
Mm-mm,
watch
mm-mm.
anything negative on TV because there's nothing we can do about it anyways. And all that does is root doom and gloom into your subconscious. So it doesn't, I
Well,
just don't partake at
it
all.
was just like a reminder for me, like COVID-19, eat your heart out because the shelves were absolutely bare. No toilet. I mean, no, a run on the toilet paper, a run on the eggs, so I'm interested. I might even go back to the store today and just see what's left just to do it. But anyway, Sharon, who is our guest for this show?
Well, our guest today is Susan Platinsky. And Susan she anchors herself as a bridge between Mother Earth and Spirit.
Mhm.
And she blends traditional medicine to holistic health. So her Rooted in Love business offers wisdom walks and talks, which are really cool because she takes people in the forest and she has downloads from from loved ones who have passed, and she
Mm.
passes the messages on to the people who are walking with her in the forest. And that's just a beautiful energy and
Yes.
a wonderful way to communicate with others from the other side. So without any further ado, let's welcome Susan to our show.
Hey.
Hi, Susan. How
Grand
are you?
Rising, Grand
Good
Rising.
rising.
Yes, I'm so
Well,
excited to be here.
we
So
are
wonderful.
so excited about you here today because what you are doing is absolutely amazing. Um, what is one of your holy shift ball moments in your life that has brought you to where you are today?
My breakdowns. Like, I think it's just a cumulative life of breakdowns that I've had. And I think the biggest shift was probably in 2017-ish area where I got divorced and then my dad passed away. And so it was grief, it was trauma, it was like a reset for myself. So I think, and then learning how to kind of deal with all of that and then having it to do it alone. Right. And so it puts you into this place of like this void, right? Where you feel naked and like, where do I start? What do I do? Who am I? Right. It's that journey of who am I now? I know who I was, but who am I now? So I
Yeah.
think that kind of started. And then you kind of just try to figure out, where do I go from here? Yeah.
Yeah. What was the first moment in your life where nature stopped being scenery and became a teacher for you?
At a young age, that was always my escape when I was a little girl, was going into the forest, my backyard. I would just walk there, and it became fantasy land for me, right? And so I was just, that was the landscape that I had, and that I saw around me. And so that was kind of carried through my life in different ways, which takes me to, I think, where I'm at today with that connection and that inner guidance system without realizing it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
call it the inner guidance system.
Because you're listening to your inner goddess.
Right.
Yes. Sharon, do you have what I find so interesting is when I go out into the forest, because that was one of my biggest healing modalities after
Mhm.
my son's passing, is that I was able to step out into what I call the circles because, when you're in your home, you're in a box, in a car, it's in a box. So I step out into the circles where the trees. And, when I was out there, I was able to really connect and just sit and allow and view and see. And what I found was when I got in front of water, something magical began to take place. What are some of the things that you do on your spirit walks and talks? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Oh, sure. Thanks, Bethany. Yeah, as part of Root and Love's ecosystem, which really was just seeds that were planted to me, and spirit just kind of guided, and the wisdom walks and talks evolved to this pyramid mountain that is, a town over from me. And there's a pyramid rock, and it's just, you feel the energetics, and there's water there. And so I started to just kind of hear it and feel it commune and talk with me. And then, the spirits, and, I see things, right? So this led me to be that conduit to take not only myself for them showing me, like spirit showed me, right? From my shamanic Reiki background training, my shamanic teacher taught me, right? Like, we don't always look down, we look up and not always around, but forget to look down, right? And that's Mother Earth, the ground, our womb. And so I would just be looking around, and I always, since I was a little girl, saw hearts everywhere. Always saw hearts, draw hearts, saw hearts. And so the woods were always showing me hearts. And I recently took someone to a place in Pennsylvania, and I made it a game because we went and followed a fairy trail. And I so connect with them. And this fairy trail all of a sudden started showing us a heart like in the trees, which is typical to see. But then all of a sudden it was like we were seeing it in a rock, a heart. And then I go, wow, wouldn't it be really cool if we see it in the leaves? And not even a second later, there were patches of leaves shaped like hearts. Wait, what? Did that just happen? Right? And then, so it was just so magical, and it can't help but root you and land it into your heart, right? With that heart coherence. And then we're walking, and all of a sudden a song comes to me. Love is in the air, na, 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 the love is in the air. And then all of a sudden, my friend, who was so down and in a really like difficult space, I took her on this healing journey, and it shifted us like that, and her. And the next thing you know, she's like, oh, we have to play it on the car ride home. I said, nope. Spirit says right now. So I go on YouTube right as we're walking, Spotify, where we were, and we were playing this song, and we literally get up in front of everybody, walk on the trail, and you can't help but move when you feel love is in the air, right? And
Absolutely.
so now it just sticks, and you can't, now it just doesn't go away. But it's part of this rooted in love ecosystem, right? It's our roots. And I think it's just between the shamanic training of my mentors and between, learning, doing the quantum where I do QHHT hypnotherapy, Dolores Cannon's past life, and I do shamanic Reiki, you're kind of taking in really that life force energy, prana chi, whatever you want to call it, whatever your source is, right? And it just allows me to use all of that I've been given in the forest, and it teaches others to have the eyes to see when we're walking, and then the ears to hear when we're saying something, and all of a sudden birds start singing. They're acknowledging, spirit's acknowledging what we're saying. What did we just say, everybody? And they're like, well, what do you mean? Well, there's just an acknowledgement of something we need to know right now.
Yes.
And then what do we do with that wisdom? So I get them to look up, look down, and look all around. Pause in reflection and sound.
You have the ears to hear, the eyes to see, and the heart to feel.
And the heart to feel.
Because that's why all the hearts are there. Is to show you that love is the way, and that's how you feel it, and that's how you embody it. Is through the heart brain connection.
And so that, I think, is really the purpose that I feel it is how this evolved into this ecosystem, is really about shining my light of truth, right? And then having it be rooted in love, because love is always the answer and the way, which is kind of like what's in my tagline with my logo, right? The roots are in the heart, but love is the way, which then created my other parts. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Created the parts of my most recent being becoming an ordained minister. And I got shown this beautiful, really heart coherent ceremony and ministry that's going to evolve, that's evolving from here too. And love is the root, heart is the way. Marrying partners in coherence, and these base ceremonies, guiding them to the brain and the heart, right? And so before their vows, it's spoken into their heart and nervous system, right? Because that's really important in every aspect. I can't imagine how nervous they're up there, We don't think about that part, right? We're just sitting there saying, oh, they look so beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. They look so happy. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this coherence before it's going to be now, then their vows are going to be spoken into each other's hearts and anchored in. And the power of the word, and we can talk about the power of the word, the power we talk to healing water, right? That's a whole nother conversation. But so by anchoring it into this system together, the guests feel it, they speak it, and then the room is synchronizes, and love becomes this shared field of coherence, which is what we are doing. You're creating that container of space, right? You're doing that. And it's coming out to the collective, and love becomes that shared. And it's not just a moment anymore. It becomes a sacred, soulful, radically human shift. Yeah.
Yeah. In your work with sound, breath, and energy, what do you see happen when someone stops trying and starts receiving?
Surrender and trust.
Yes.
They're truly surrendering, and you have to surrender in everything, because then it's left brain control. Right brain is heart, spirit. And so, yeah, it's surrender, because then there's resistance if you don't surrender. And then how are you getting truth? How are you going to become the observer? How are you going to become discerning in what fits right with you without giving your power away? And that's I think the whole thing to this game of life that we have to play.
Would you say surrender opens you up and allows you to embody it and feel it?
And feel it, no matter how painful it might be or joyful. And that's the integrative part in this, say, Wisdom's Walk and Talks, is really talking about that we tend to miss because people are afraid. It's that void. It's the darkness. And the only way we grow is when we're in and sitting in that darkness, that we can then see the light. Yeah.
Yes, because you can't see the light without the darkness. That's for sure. And that's so interesting because myself personally, that's where I have transformed the absolute most, is through the darkness, through this, the heaviness, through that. That is where I have absolutely been able to flourish, coming through the other side of it. That's for sure.
So Bethany, how did you deal with that darkness then? Like, how did you feel? Like what, like, how did you respond to that darkness? Because everybody can go to different places in darkness and even tumble even more.
Well, the thing about it is that there was no running from it. So from that perspective, I had to sit with it. There was no way I could escape it. This was going to be a repetitive thing for me, through the loss of Kevin. And so it was more about, for me, sitting with it, becoming almost regulated, because I knew there's nothing I could do that would mask it. So I started to just feel it, recognize it, and be okay with it. And, like I tell my clients, feeling is healing. Feel it all.
Yeah.
There's nowhere I could go. I couldn't, run from this. So, the feeling it without having to run and mask it and try to do the whole codependency, drink it away, smoke it away, whatever. It was all about just recognizing, okay, this is where I'm at. And then asking a question, how do I want to feel? Do I want to continue this? Is it serving me?
That's the important thing about going to the darkness and feeling it and sitting with it, is with the mindset of healing it, embracing it and healing it, as opposed to building a house there and feeling sorry for yourself. It's not about self-pity. It's about self-healing. And Bethany is a beautiful example of that, because now she has an amazing relationship with her son who's passed over. He communicates with her on a regular basis,
Yeah.
has a wonderful sense of humor, makes her laugh. And as she said to me many times, like, my relationship with my son now, like Bethany's relationship with her son, Kevin, now is as good or better than when
Better
he was in
body.
the
Mhm.
body. So
And
there,
recognizing, for me, like recognizing that love never dies. It
no,
only transforms.
because
And so,
love is energy.
yeah,
Yeah.
and well, and everything on this realm, on this, 3D, everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Every single thing. And so, yeah, Kevin has absolutely been my biggest teacher for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Susan, I'd like to talk about one of your biggest assets in your life, and Robbie, your dog. Is his name
Oh,
Mhm.
Robbie?
Kobe,
Kobe.
like Kobe Bryant, Kobe.
Yes, I had it in my notes, Robbie.
Ron will appreciate that reference, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you want to wait 1 second, I can quickly grab him. He's 18 and blind and
Okay.
heart
Yes.
failure, and he's this pet therapy dog. He always had a specialness to him, and when he was able to see, he did pet therapy for that special needs population children, and I saw the power of healing he did. Then he got blind, and I didn't do anything, and then I got a call, and I randomly, synchronicity of life, just last year, a few months ago, got guided to walk into this building that I used to be a bookstore. And I said, "What is this?" And I went in there, and literally, this is being divinely guided, which is, I surrendered to it and I follow it, and more and more comes. I walk in there, and they said, "Oh yeah, we work with adults, inclusive adults, that, we have a full service facility. We're run by the state, and we provide full services." And I go, "Oh, do you have a pet therapy?" She's like, "Well, last week we had all the staff had to bring in their own because we don't have a pet therapy dog anymore." I said, "Well, you do now."
Perfect. It's amazing how spirit
And
works.
then it's been ever since. So yeah, give me one moment and I'm going to grab him.
Sure. Right on. Thanks for asking the question, Bethany. That's wonderful.
Yes. Yes. This, and it's so interesting because as she goes and gets Kobe, one of my biggest healing modalities too was my dog
Mhm.
Gigi.
Yes.
You
Yep.
know, oh,
Oh, hi, Kobe.
hi
Hey,
Kobe.
Kobe. Here's his
How are
name.
you? How are
Hey,
you, beautiful?
hey, Kobe.
Isn't
Yeah.
he precious? Wow.
He's
Thank,
beautiful.
So, this is his favorite spot to be, like this. So
Yeah.
no surprising that, like, all he needs to do is just, someone that, can't move, is in wheelchair bound and can't speak or necessarily see. And then this dog just sits there, and then, the energy, frequency, and vibration, right? All they need to do is just put it in their field, and then, put it on their face and feel. He's hyperallergenic, so it's real hair, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
It's just a bundle of love in their lap. Like, it's the
Ah,
joys,
Wonderful.
right? So I'm just so grateful he can still do this at 18, and he goes
Wow.
on hikes with me, right? So
yes.
I call it my magic. I work with plant medicine of all different kinds, anything from healing in the woods and doing Reiki, to sound, which I added in my plant workshop. And I also, have a line of Botany Scientifics, where it's actually hemp, full spectrum endocannabinoids. So he gets pet hemp and Reiki daily. So
Wow.
it's pretty incredible. And I've been doing this for a couple years now. So
Hence the
Yeah.
longevity.
plant magic. I mean, it
Yeah.
heals everything in this world. Seriously.
Bethany's magic wand.
Uh,
Let it be so. Kobe's a stoner.
Kobe is a
No, Ron.
stoner.
No,
Love
Ron.
it.
It's hemp, Ron.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Hemp
amazing.
does not get you stoned.
all
No,
right,
not
Susan, we
this.
we are going to play the game called Shit or Shift, where we toss out some scenarios and you tell us if it's a shift where it's expansive. Yes, I'm having it. Yes, run it. Or if it's shit and it's nope, it's, time to let it go. It's a program, it's
Yeah.
constrictive, it's restrictive. So,
Uh-huh.
are you ready?
Ready.
All right, Sharon, you want to go with your
Let's-
first question,
Oh,
girl?
sure. Okay. Okay, Susan, returning to plant, animal, and sound medicine, is that sacred ancestral wisdom or proof that healing worked better before Big Pharma took over?
It's healing in every aspect, but it's always been there. So no matter, I'm going to say both because it's always been there. We just forget.
Yes,
We just
exactly.
forget.
No,
All
I
right.
really believe it.
Pharma uses plant medicine as their base anyway.
Mm.
They put it in all the meds anyway, is the plant.
Oh. I didn't
Yes.
know
It
that.
just gets altered with chemicals and they put other things in it.
Yes,
Ah.
that's where it becomes unhealthy.
All right. If nature already regulates the nervous system and restores coherence, why are so many people still trying to heal inside four walls instead of listening to the forest?
I just don't think they see it.
Well, we weren't told, or we made believe of it,
Right. And they know going for walks clears the head and the mind. But if you really understand, it heals the heart and the mind. Because nature's wisdom, we were severed from ancestral wisdom of the land and earth. And the tree's knowledge in its well-being, its protection, its life force. Like we forget the emotional and spiritual and just all the things that it provides us, right? We know lowers cortisol, right? It boosts our immune cells, but we don't think about that. Why do we bring plants in our home? Because we like the way it looks. A pretty planter, right?
No, it's healing us and energetically, and so many people are unaware of it, right? We're bringing nature in.
Cortisol, there's phytocides, and then it boosts our immune cells. It's been studied. It's been studied. It has so many benefits. So I tell everybody, no more silk. Get rid of the silk.
Get rid of the silk. Okay.
Yeah, the plants. You don't want them. The plastic, the silk plants. You just don't want that.
Oh, get rid of the silk plants. Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah, the plastic.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that's a little bit of death sitting in your house. It's not.
My dream and what I've been doing, and I really would like to do eventually more and more, is as we're going to this new earth, I'm seeing myself, because I love coffee and I go in coffee shops and I do my plant workshops there, and I'm bringing in these plants and creating the ecosystem in their store. So where we're bringing nature in with what I do with this, right? It's with the stones and the crystal, what's underneath earth, right? All these natural stones, right? Powers up everything. So bringing that into nature and bringing it in there, all the benefits is you're bringing nature in for healing.
Exactly. Yes. Okay.
By the way, I pulled cards. Do you want me to read any?
Let's read the cards. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're good for that?
For sure.
Cool. So I went off the theme of what we're talking about. And so this is like the ancient stone cards. And, the question I asked was really what is it for us to know with this Holy Shiftballs coherence and collective at the moment, right here, right now, for all of us to know for our highest benevolence and good of all. And the Wisdom Keeper card came on. And if you really look closely, when we look into the forest, we don't always see, but there's a face in the rock.
There's a face, yeah.
Right. But so it's teaching people to look beyond what exists, right? Didn't they have the rock shot test, right? Where you look at an image and what do you see? And people see different images, different things. It's kind of the same content. It's getting this third eye, right? Their mind's eye to open up and see it. And so the wisdom keeper is about a new perspective and studying and learning. And so the oldest rock, did you know, was 4.3 billion years old, and it was discovered in Canada. And the stones are powerful healers, teachers, and guardians. And they're about preserving and telling stories with wisdom. And what are you having all your guests come in and do?
Share their holy shift ball.
Stories, aren't they?
Mhm.
With wisdom.
Yes.
And where you're showing grace. And what word do we talk about for? Surrender. And so it's from you're taking in all different perspectives, and then to humbling in terms of the unknown, right? And taking it to wonder.
Wow.
And then, so the question I have for both of you back is, what are you fascinated by or in awe of?
Well, I'm gonna have to be the shit that I create. My life is, yes, it's fascinating me. I'm just like, wow, that's way to go, girl. Way to go. You're outdoing yourself out here.
You command that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like a winner of a losing game. Woo!
Woo! Winning.
Woo!
That's right.
Oh, well, Susan, thank you.
Wait.
Sharon's
Oh,
got
yeah.
Thank you.
Duh. See?
I am fascinated by the quantum, all things quantum, and how it interacts when one of us has a thought and the person we have a thought about instantly receives it. And they text us, they message us, or Bethany and I show up to a meeting and we have the same color on. We do it all the time. We don't know, we don't talk. And today I just have a lighter color of her color on. So it's amazing. We do it all the time. We're the interconnectedness of life, the intersection between quantum physics and spirituality, and how that affects our daily lives. That's what fascinates me.
Yeah.
And that's where we've talked about taking the show this week.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah. We're going quantum.
More of that.
Quantum, baby.
Well, it's so interesting. It's just so interesting for us, because we're just, things are showing up that we had no idea was even possible. But being open and being in that observer where we don't have a point of view, we're not judging it, and just go back to what you said, allowing and surrendering, just to be excited for whatever the hell shows up, because we know that it was divinely guided to us.
And we know we can handle it, and we're going to have fun with it no matter what happens.
Yes.
No matter what happens, it's going to be whatever.
Yes,
it's good.
girl. Yes, girl.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's key, because, and if you don't, I think it all goes back to like what I think all of you, what you both like embody, is that my shaman teacher told me this, is like, change is always going to be painful and difficult. But if you have like discipline and you go slow, one day at a time, one weekly practice at a time, with inquiry, meditation, you're planting seeds, right? And most of it will grow the next season, but not always. But you're dedicated to transformation. And we can't offer it if we do not discover it, that it is radically possible.
My dad taught me something when I was a small girl, and it has stuck with me all these years. And he told me, he said, Bethany, nothing in this world stays the same forever. Nothing. The good times and the bad times, but everything will shift. So, that's Pop's words of wisdoms for me.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Ancestral wisdom. Like, they know we forgot our ancestors. So that's why, like you had admired and spoke about, that's why this wisdom walks and talks, where like in the forest doing that, I'm so grateful, like guided there, because I'm now going to do meditations in the forest, in the land, by the river. I do volunteer work there, that this weekend I'm coordinating, I'm going to be curating that space to wake up the heartbeat of Mother Earth with everybody there in meditation and sound. I mean,
Awesome.
like
Awesome.
ancestor wisdom, what you just spoke about, right? Remembering who are we?
Yes. Yes. Well, Susan, thank you so much. Both Sharon and I are so grateful that you came onto the show and to just open your heart and share your authenticity and what you're doing. We just think it's absolutely amazing. If our audience members would like to reach out and work with you and speak with you, what would be how can they get a hold of you?
Well, I have Facebook and Instagram at Infinite Life Designs. That's Infinite Life Designs. My email's infinitelifedesigns@gmail. And I'm really excited because now I have a physical community-based location of a friend of mine that has a healing community, Holistic Harmony, and that's 152 Hamburg Turnpike in Bloomingdale, New Jersey. And so it's a holistic wellness center and really going to build community there and community healing Fridays and just make it more in person so we could hug and have hearts together.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yes.
I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
wonderful day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All
Yes.
righty. That was good. That was really good.
Yes. Yes, Sharon. I enjoyed that. Something about forced, it's just getting outside, not being restricted, just being able to get into the flow state, right?
And like you say, that was very cathartic, very healing for you. And thank you for sharing your story and being a shining example of how to go to your deepest, darkest place.
Yes.
And start healing and initiate the healing process. It was beautiful.
Thank you so much. Well, Sharon, sweetheart, who do we have on the show for next week?
Next week, we have Tina Kasich. She's a teacher, a writer, and a researcher of human transformation. So she weaves together consciousness, science, and modern tools to help you build harmonious relationships with yourself, others, and the world. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be an interesting conversation for sure.
All right, will do. And guess what, Sharon?
What?
When life kicks you in the balls, be sure to tune in to your Holy Shiftball podcast,
where we help you turn that shit into a shift.
All right,
Have
see
a
you next
wonderful
Thursday.
week. Bye-bye.